Hello and welcome to Shifty Crab Newsbreak. I am your host, Terry Jeffs, and joining me today it is Adam Very, the dominator of the debates.
It's a pleasure to be here. You did get my name correct. I'm enjoying that. So thank you.
Getting a little bit too carried away with the debate wins at the moment, Adam. Not liking it too much. Let's see if it changes up with the new campaign mode.
We shall see.
We shall see. How was, without any spoilers, Justice League, the Snyder Cut?
Oh, without any spoilers, I'll give you a 10-second review.
Please do.
Much better than the first.
That wasn't hard.
Probably the best DCEU film so far.
Wow.
Too long.
I like that. Very tight, concise.
Too long makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. And completing the Shifty Crab Triforce of Power, joining us today is the Beard of Gears, Mr. Vince Haley.
What's going on, Terry? Love it.
Glad that you like it. Vince, have you caught Justice League Get the Snyder Cut yet, or is that...
No, that is absolutely a weekend thing for sure. There's no way I'm going to sit down for 4 hours and just watch straight through a whole DC anything, really.
I find it quite frustrating, actually, because it's something I just really want to watch. And normally, if it was just like a normal film, I would have just kind of binged it any moment I could. But it's just so hard to... I've watched the first hour, but it's just too much to get through.
Yeah, maybe just 3 more to go.
Yeah, just 3 more to go, you know. But hey, I like it. But yeah, maybe once we've all watched it, we could have a sit down. Maybe we'll record our review on it.
Yeah,
maybe
our impressions of it.
Yeah,
I watched it at 6 a.m. So
wow.
Well, I was downstairs with the dog, so I thought I'll put it on, and then
that's how to do it. That's how to do it, guys.
I'm surprised you didn't nap then.
I wanted to. A little bit of it where not as much has changed. I was kind of. No, I don't know what was going on, but I powered through.
Nice.
Indeed. But we're not talking about Justice League today, guys. We are talking news, gaming news, because this is Shifty Crab Newsbreak, where we bring you all the best gaming news of the week, and we discuss all the games we can't wait to get our claws on, really. So today, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk through, because we've got a whole week's full of news to get through. But first... want to give you guys a bit of housekeeping. So the Shifty Crab podcast episode 8 is now live. You can find that on our YouTube channel and also on our audio podcast service. This was a good one. This was a lot of fun. I think a long one where we just kind of chatted whatever we wanted to talk about. And yeah, I mean, you guys enjoy that one?
It made me hungry.
Yeah, we
so fucking hungry.
It really
was really. I love the episode.
Oh yeah. Right. It was at the end of a very long recording session, and I had not eaten yet. So boy, was I starving at the end of that one.
At least you have the option to eat. We finished at like 2 a.m. We're like, well, bedtime.
That's true.
Yeah, it was
snack
a good
on
one.
More of those Halo Pringles though. I actually like them.
Yes, there was.
Oh yeah.
There was a verdict on the new Halo Pringles. We talked fast food. We talked alcohol. We talked games. There's pretty much not many subjects we left uncovered there. So, yeah, do go check that out. And you can get that podcast every Wednesday. Also, we've launched our new show, our standalone show of the Sunday Funday Challenge, which you can see, which last show was Adam and Vince doing a PlayStation quiz, a little challenge there for all you PlayStation fans to give a try. And yeah, you'll be able to catch the next episode of that on next Sunday. So please do check that out. But for now, we've got 11 news stories to discuss, guys. And starting it off, news item number 1. Square Enix presents Forspoken, New Life is Strange, and more announced. This is over at GameSpot, and this is by Gabe Gerwin. Square Enix Presents took place on March 18th, and it offered us an in-depth look at several previously announced games, as well as a few surprise game reveals. From Life is Strange, True Colors, to the action-packed Forspoken. It had a little something for everyone. Outside of the games themselves, we also learned about continued multimedia projects for franchises like Tomb Raider, as well as mobile spin-offs for both Just Cause and Hitman. Here are the biggest games and announcements we saw during the show. So I'm going to kind of run through these, and then afterwards we can kind of break them down and kind of have a, give our views on each of them. So first of all, we've got Life is Strange True Colors. Life is Strange True Colors is the next full entry in the series, and it's launching on September 10th as a complete package instead of via episodic releases. It includes a character from Before the Storm, whom you can romance, and it will be available in several editions. Alongside the new game, remastered versions of Life is Strange and Before the Storm are also coming. Outriders. Outriders got a long new trailer during the presentation, and it showed off the game's 4 classes as well as a deep and customizable skill tree. You will keep progress from the demo if you buy the full game or get it on Xbox Game Pass. Balan Wonderworld, a game from some of the creative minds behind the Sonic and Knight series, got a new trailer during the show. Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy launched today for $20, though the price won't stay that low forever. Along with this news, we got a video celebrating the franchise's 25th anniversary and offering a brief update on some other media projects involving Lara Croft. Marvel's Avengers. The PS5 and Xbox Series XS versions of Marvel's Avengers are out now. Alongside their launch, Crystal Dynamics shared a roadmap for the game that includes a new Black Widow event, new story content, and the introduction of Black Panther. There's no firm date on when we'll be coming to the game, but it will be this year. Oh, and we get to see Hawkeye in action with his famous bow. Just Cause Mobile. Just Cause Mobile was announced late last year, and it got a new trailer during the presentation. The trailer showed off several famous from the main series, including the zipline from the 3rd and 4th games, as well as Rico Rodriguez himself. Hitman Sniper Assassins. Currently being developed under a working title, Hitman Sniper Assassins is the latest mobile game from the team at Square Enix Montreal behind Hitman Sniper. In this one, you're not playing as Agent 47. We'll know more closer to its release for iOS and Android later this year. And finally, Forspoken, the breathtaking fantasy action game formerly called Project Athia, now has an official title, Forspoken. Protagonist Frey, played by Ella Balinska, has access to some impressive traversal abilities, and the game is in development at the internal studio Luminous Productions for a 2022 release on PS5 and PC. So a lot of stuff to get through there. So for anyone that doesn't know, this was from the Square Enix Presents Spring 2021 press release, which literally was live about a few hours before this. So there was a lot to kind of get through and break down. So yeah, I guess first of all, we should start with Life is Strange True Colors. Now, you guys... I can't remember if you guys have both played the Life is Strange games, or
I have, yes.
Okay, so did you see the trailer?
I did, one? I did. I think the thing that excites me the most about this is that it comes out complete. I don't have to wait.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of episodic games because I'm impatient. Like, I don't like cliffhangers where I'm like, well, great, now I've got to wait a couple of months before I can play the next part and forget about it. So yeah, I was really happy that they're doing this, and I didn't complete 2. I didn't like 2 that much, but this looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to giving this a go.
I think the general consensus on 2 is that it wasn't as good as 1, was it? I mean,
1 was very good.
Is that the same for you, Vince? I think you played him, didn't you?
I'm going to say something super controversial.
Ooh.
Because I did not like Life is Strange 1.
Wow.
Played 1 and Before the Storm. I think Before the Storm was better just because you got a better characterization of Chloe, who I absolutely hated in 1. She was such an awful character. Awful character. But I liked her a lot better in Before the Storm. I didn't play 2 because it was one of those things where it's episodic. I wanted to play it all at once when it was finally out. And by the time that happened, I'd forgotten about it. It just was not on my radar anymore. It was on Game Pass for a while. So I had like the first 3 episodes downloaded through Game Pass. And then I think it came off of Game Pass. I don't remember if it did or not. So I just didn't bother with it. I uninstalled it from my Xbox and forgot about it. But this has me interested that it's definitely coming as one complete package. I'll definitely watch the trailer later and see if I'm that interested in it. Because Life is Strange didn't grab me the way kind of Telltale games have grabbed me before, where it's that kind of episodic, but you get that story there that just keeps you hooked for the next episode and just keeps going. Well, older Telltale games, not so much the newer ones. There's a few misses there towards the end. So I'm hoping this game is good. I want this game to be good because I know Life is Strange means a lot to a lot of people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I kind of want to be in the know on that, I don't kind of want to miss it out just because I had a bad experience with the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I never played through the first 2, but I think we spoke previously, and I mean, I like the look of it. At least one, I like the look of playing it, and especially playing through the recent Telltale games. But I think you might be right, Adam. Although it's so hard, I think I find this with TV as well, like how sometimes episodic can suit better for some things, and then having it all contained, like WandaVision, for example. I think WandaVision was good because we were getting it weekly. I was getting that feeling that I used to get with watching Lost, with trying to break it down each week, and sometimes it can be suited, but then other shows I feel are better just to binge through them. I can't say how I would feel on this because, I mean, I'm pleased that it'll be a complete package. I recently played through a few Telltale games, but I didn't have to wait for those episodes. I just played them as a complete thing, and that suited me. And but I am definitely pleased that the original 2 are coming remastered. That there's all new facial animations being redone for them and stuff like that. So I'm going to be playing them. So. Yeah. I believe there are. So I'm going to be playing them in the best form they can possibly be in. So yeah, I will be checking out this trilogy for sure. But the trailer I saw the trailer for True Colors, looked interesting. I like what he's doing, playing with the emotions and how the girl she can sense them. That's her powers, and looks pretty cool. Outriders I don't know too much about.
Oh boy,
can you fill us in on this, Vince? Yeah, you did. You played. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned this before, didn't you, Vince, when you played it?
Yeah, I played like an hour of the demo. I haven't gone back to it since because I've been busy doing, the Gears video and all that stuff. I am so excited it's coming to Game Pass, day and date, because it's a game after playing the demo, I wouldn't have given another chance. I probably wouldn't have paid the full $60 for it. Probably would have waited for it to go on sale again. But the fact that it's coming to Game Pass, I'm absolutely installing this day one because what little I played definitely has me wanting to go back into it and see more of it. I just need to actually take the time before the release date to check out more of the demo to get my full feelings on it. But overall, I enjoyed what I played. Like, it's one of those that kind of like flew under the radar. And then when I saw, the first little gameplay footage for it, when Kind of Funny did a first impressions of it, I was like, this actually looks interesting. And when the demo hit, I was like, all right, check it out. There was some issues there. I'm not gonna lie. I talked about it a couple podcasts ago where like the cutscenes were way too shaky. The dialogue was okay, but it's an interesting world I kind of want to see more of. So I'm a bit excited.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw from the trailer, I'm quite intrigued actually. This I found a bit interesting. I mean, Adam, is that something that you could see yourself playing, or?
The jury's still out. I look at it and I kind of want to like it, but And I usually go into games with an optimistic point of view, saying I'm sure that it will turn out to be okay. But so far from what I've said at this game, I feel like it's just going to fall on its face.
That is the feeling I was.
I don't think it's going to deliver. And I hope it does. And I hope this is one of them that I hope I'm wrong, and I'm just a bit late to the party, and then I can enjoy it. But my alarm bells are ringing a little bit with this game.
I feel that way, not due to the quality of the game, but I feel like this is the fact that you talked about it before, Vince, and I'm sure I've seen videos on this before, and I just forgot about it. And I think it seems to me like one of those games that's just gonna like go under the radar. People are just gonna forget about it, and it's just not gonna have that. And I hope I'm wrong, because I don't like to see any game like that fail. But it's got that kind of, it doesn't really have that identity that I feel like it needs. But either way, I am intrigued to see more of it. Balan Wonderworld. I know of this due to, again, on Kind of Funny, they were talking about then they had played it and how disappointed they were in it, which is really disappointing because, these are the minds behind the original Sonic team. Like, these are the guys that created like the original Sonic and Knights. Like Knights is held in such high esteem. I mean, Adam, you must have played a bit of Knights back on the Saturn.
Of course.
Nights into Dreams, and you expect like, and this is very of that cut from that cloth of Nights into Dreams, and I've heard it's not good at all, like very, very, very bad, very mediocre. So
it does look bad.
It's a shame. It's a shame, but hey, they're still presenting it either way. So yeah, Tomb Raider, we got a bunch of stuff about Tomb Raider. This pleases me. Obviously, it's the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, one of my favorite game franchises ever. So the definitive Survivor trilogy leaked earlier today. Don't know if you saw that. So I think this leaked earlier in the week as well. We knew this was coming. But this is great. I mean, I cannot recommend enough getting this trilogy of games if you don't have them for so cheap, because I really, as good as they are, I really don't feel like that trilogy gets the recognition it deserves and how good those games are. I haven't played Shadow yet. I know that's on my playlist, but the Tomb Raider reboot and Rise of Tomb Raider were absolutely fantastic. So I want to see. I was expecting to see a little bit more, and maybe the fact that they said, "Oh, this is just the beginning of our 25th anniversary." I'm hoping we're going to get some news at some point this year about a new game, because you can't sit on this franchise. It's just too big. I want to know what's happening with it. Are Crystal Dynamics still, because they've just deserted it with the Avengers and stuff. And I want to know what's going on. Come on, what's going on with Lara? Don't leave Lara in the dark.
Yeah, well, there was that.
Sorry, go on, Vince.
There was that Netflix show they were doing for it, right?
They mentioned that. They mentioned the Netflix show.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be like a sequel series to the reboot trilogy.
Yeah. So who knows? That might bridge the gap to whatever they're doing next.
Oh, let's hope so. I'm very interested in this trilogy. At least this bundle, going back and playing them kind of back to back, because there was a gap where I played Rise in a few years, and then I played Shadow and had completely forgotten everything beforehand. So it'd be interesting to go back and play them on new hardware and play them back to back, so I can really live out that trilogy properly.
Yeah, I think for me, I already thought this trilogy was out. Like, I thought this is something that had already been done. So when it was announced, I was like, "Oh, is this just like a newer version of?" I looked, like, "Oh no, this hasn't been done yet." Okay, like it made perfect sense for this to be done. I haven't played all of the new trilogies, and I want to. I think the reason it suffered maybe with people buying it is because it came out in that period, especially that golden period of Uncharted, which is probably out of the two games the more superior, like in the two types of games. And I think maybe that's why it maybe suffered a little bit, but it absolutely deserves to be in the spotlight. Would I like to see Crystal Dynamics do another Tomb Raider game? No. I think they've done their bit, and I would love to see a different studio take it on and have a different look at it. I don't really want more of the same. I think a trilogy is a good done and dusted. leave that there, let somebody else have a go and tell their story.
Who would that be though? Because Square Enix are not going to give up the rights to this game. So who?
No, exactly. I wouldn't know really who to go to. But I can't imagine Crystal are going to do anything soon. Like you said, Avengers seems to be the only thing that they're doing at the moment.
Yeah,
and I would imagine that's quite all hands on deck. So, and it's the 25th anniversary. So you'd think at some point in this they're going to announce a game. Like a new game that's not a mobile game or a remaster or anything like that. I don't know. I just think the Trilogy. I don't think Crystal Dynamics' focus is going to be on Tomb Raider, and I don't want to see Tomb Raider just sit there and nobody do anything with it.
Yeah.
So
it's
you're right. But Square Enix aren't going to give up the rights to Tomb Raider. So.
No, and it's a weird situation for it to be in actually, because I can't remember who it was, but I know the Shadow of the Tomb Raider was put out to another developer. It wasn't Crystal Dynamics, I believe. That was another developer, which why a lot of people think that's the weakest one in the trilogy. And I feel like it's had a bit of run of bad luck, the Tomb Raider series, because there's been some real quality there in that trilogy. The first one that came out, I think everyone really enjoyed, everyone liked, but I remember when it came out, Square Enix were quite disappointed with the sales numbers. I think there was a big thing about it sold 5 million and they were disappointed with that. And everyone was up in arms like, what? It sold 5 million. And I mean, by today's standards, that is quite low. But I think that they wanted it, Tomb Raider was such a tentpole property back in the days of the PlayStation 1. I think they were thinking that again. They were thinking it was going to be the best-selling thing, and it wasn't. And then it really, really didn't help with Rise of the Tomb Raider, making that exclusive to Xbox One at the time. Because, again, just didn't sell well. And then by the time it actually came out onto PS4, I think most people just kind of moved on. And a lot of people skipped past it. I only returned to it last year. And then Shadow, again, moved into a different developer. And it, wasn't received well critically, so it's hard to see where they're going to. But hey, a new cookbook was announced, a Tomb Raider cookbook. Did you see this in the trailer? They announced a Tomb Raider cookbook. I don't know what that could be, what that entails, but I'm buying it, and I'm going to be cooking some. I don't know.
You have to cook in like your back garden in adverse weather. Is that the only things that it does?
If there's one thing I've never associated with a Tomb Raider game, it's cooking. But here we go. We're getting it anyway. So. Anyway, moving on. So Marvel's Avengers. This was a weird one because I was waiting like, okay, what are we going to be getting from the Avengers? Because there's been a lot of talk about this game is dying. The player base isn't there. Are they going to continue to support it? But yeah, we got some stuff. We got the trailer with Hawkeye in it, the actual, the proper Hawkeye. And then we got the trailer for the long rumored Black Panther DLC, which was delayed from previously. So, yeah, I mean, the Black Panther. I saw the trailer for the Black Panther suit. The suit looks awesome. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Looks really good. So yeah, I mean, it's there's nothing that they showed there, and they showed the whole lineup of what they're going to do throughout the year, and it's good to see that. But I found it a bit worrying that they showed us their roadmap for the year. And still, the only stuff that we've got from this whole presentation was Hawkeye, which we knew about, and Black Panther that we knew about. Like, if they'd have dropped something else in, like, I don't know, like, Doctor Strange, or just something to get everyone excited to, like, get back and play this game. But, yeah, I just feel like we're in the same spot with this. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I watched this. I have the Avengers game on PlayStation 4. I put a decent amount of hours into it, but the grind was getting real. And then all they did with the big update was make it more grindy. So I was a bit disappointed in that. And then watching this today, I also read the PlayStation blog where they went more in depth in the PlayStation 5 that they're using the haptic controls. And they're using the 3D audio and stuff like that. So they are doing stuff with the PlayStation 5. But I don't think it's enough to bring me back. You're right. The Black Panther suit looks amazing, and I think the Black Panther story part of it will be really cool. And going to Wakanda will be really cool.
And that's the end of the year, right? They said, I believe that's going to be
that's back end, and
so like,
that ain't coming out back end of the year. Like they haven't met a single target yet. So
that's the worrying thing,
year.
right? That's the worrying thing. Like that's the only thing we know about, and that's coming out at the end of the year for Lucky. So I would have thought that this year they would have been pumping out like the content, like some really good stuff, considering it's been pretty dry so far.
Yeah,
doesn't look good.
You'd think this is a Marvel IP, okay? So you'd think that you also would think that they would do their releases almost when a character is popular. Like you have WandaVision, give us Scarlet Witch. She's got an incredible backstory. She would work really well in the game with her powers, the telekinesis side of it. That brings something new to the table. But what you're giving us is Hawkeye with his bow and arrow, which is all fine. And then Black Panther, which we already have characters quite similar to Black Panther already in the game. Very like fight-based, not much tacticalness to them. Give us someone interesting. Give us Vision, or give us Scarlet Witch. Give us Doctor Strange. Like
even Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Give us Ant-Man. He'd be a great character to play with. You know, going small and big. Winter Soldier. Yeah, you've got Give us Falcon. Like any of those would have been great. To even just say, hey, by the way, these guys are coming. Yeah. No, it's kind of like when you used to go to your grandma's house and you hadn't been there in a while. She's like, oh, would you like something to eat? And you go, yeah. She's like, oh, I've got some crisps somewhere. And she goes rummaging through the cupboard for about 20 minutes and goes, I've got these Twiglets. Like, you know, she just pulled something out that she had and gone, we've got this. Like
Vince is like, what the hell is a Twiglet?
Yeah, like
no idea.
It just seems like they're not putting anything into this. This is a lot of smoke and mirrors, but doesn't look good.
So instead of getting any good Lara content, we're just getting mediocre Marvel content. But hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping they got some other stuff up their sleeve with that. We got obviously the details on a Just Cause mobile game, the Hitman mobile game, but not really much to say on that. They're mobile games, so we didn't see anything of the Hitman, Sniper Assassins. Although I will say, Square Enix do put out good mobile games. Look at Hitman Go and Lara Croft Go. Good games. So I will hold my breath on these. You know, I don't expect them to be like typical mobile fodder.
Sniper Assassins is also on Hitman 2, but you do play as Agent 47. But and on Hitman 3 actually. No, Hitman 2 and the DLC. There were certain levels that you just were in a stationary position with your sniper rifle, and you had to shoot people at certain times, so they maybe fall into a bush or fall into the water, and you still had your targets, but you had to tactically work your way through it. That is very much what I imagine this game's going to be, but in a mobile, like obviously UI. So they've already been IO have been doing that with the games anyway.
Awesome. And then the highlight for me, for Spoken. So this is what we was previously announced, the Project Athia. So we got a new trailer, and Ella Balinska done a little talk about her performance and what they're doing with the game. And as you mentioned earlier, Adam, off camera, the gameplay looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful, and very reminiscent of like for me it reminded, just the way that it was traveling around the world very much reminded me of Final Fantasy 15, but much more polished and obviously faster movement and stuff like that. Like it seems like what Final Fantasy 15 could have been, you know, but this is really looking promising.
And I think this is shot quite high up on my list of PS5 exclusives that I'm looking forward to playing. I think the traversal looked incredible. Like it looked really fluid. Now, whether that works actually playing it, you know, you still have to wait and see. I really like the effects that were done. It looks like that they were done in real time. So it wasn't turn-based or anything like that. It looked like it was you could, I don't know what the word's going to be for this. It looked like magic of some sort. Like, so maybe you cast it, but it looked like you could do that in real time, which looked really, really cool. I thought the voice acting was pretty good. Obviously, in the CGI trailer just before the gameplay trailer, well, the gameplay CGI trailer, the dragon looked incredible. I'm really interested to see because it's modern. She had sneakers on. I think she's in the White House at the beginning.
Really?
It looks very much like the White House, but the exterior, and I could be very, very wrong, but she's very modern in the game, but yet fighting monsters and dragons and stuff like that. That sounds pretty cool.
Vince, do you have any excitement for Project Athia? Well, sorry, it's going to take a while to retrain my brain on this one.
I didn't watch the trailer, but maybe when I do. I mean, I saw everybody going apeshit over this game on Twitter earlier, but hadn't had time to actually watch the trailer.
I mean, no, that's fair enough. I mean, the presentation was literally like just before we went live, so I don't blame you. But I would definitely check it out. I mean, it looks for me like definitely the most exciting new IP that Square Enix are working on for sure. But yeah, so anyway, that kind of rounds up our chunky first story of
that's the
day.
First story.
That's the first story. That's literally just the first one. On story number 2, Jade Raymond announces studio working on new IP for PlayStation. This is over at Eurogamer, and it's a story by Tom Phillips. Assassin's Creed co-creator Jade Raymond has announced Haven Entertainment Studios, a new independent developer that will build a fresh IP for PlayStation. Raymond most recently served as head of Stadia Games and Entertainment until Google announced it was shutting down its internal development studios at the start of February, only 40 months after Stadia's higher profile launch. Raymond previously served as boss of EA's Motive Studio following a long stint at Ubisoft. Quote, "It's been a strange and difficult past 12 months, Raymond wrote today in a message announcing her studio via the PlayStation blog. Quote, "The pandemic, social injustice, and job elimination have impacted many of my closest friends, family, and co-workers. All of these factors, paired with an inability to see friends and family face-to-face, lured me into a kind of self-reflective cocoon where I had to ask myself some tough questions about what really matters. And so today I'm announcing Haven, an independent studio where many of the talented game developers I have worked with for years and I love dearly are coming together to do what we are most passionate about. It's time for us to refocus on games in a place where we can practice our crafts without any barriers or impediments. We want to create worlds where players can escape, have fun, express themselves, and find community. We want to pour our passion into a project. We want to make something wondrous for people to experience. Because we believe in the power of games to bring joy to people's lives, and Sony does too. Their commitment to excellence is unmatched. It's why I couldn't be happier for their backing and support. Together, we want to create games that we are a haven for players, and we want to build a studio that is a haven for developers. So while we don't have many details to announce today, I want the PlayStation community to know that Haven Studios is already hard at work on an unannounced IP. We can't wait to show you more." This was great news to hear after. I feel like Jade Raymond has been chewed and spat out of the industry like one too many times in recent years, and it's nice to know now that she's kind of found. It sounds like she's finally happy somewhere where she can just get on with things and develop. And this whole thing is very reminiscent to me as to Hideo Kojima. And what's going on with what he did. What do you guys have much experience with like Jade Raymond's games and all that kind of stuff, the back catalog?
Yeah, Vince, do you want to go take this one or?
Sure. I mean, I had to go back and look at her back catalog just to see everything she's done, and there's some great stuff on there. I mean, we've got Assassin's Creed 2, Far Cry 4, unfortunately, Assassin's Creed Unity, a bunch of other great games on that list. Like, having your own studio would be fantastic, because at some point you gotta think some developers probably feel constrained especially working with those giant companies like EA and Ubisoft. Because you got to figure, if you're working at Ubisoft, you're going to be making an open world game. If you're working at EA, there's going to be problems no matter what.
Yeah.
And to see her break out and make her own studio and partner with PlayStation, that's absolutely for the best. It gives her a creative outlet to do what she wants to do, make the games that she's really passionate about. And she's got a lot of great games under her belt. So this should be fantastic, whatever she does.
Yeah. I just hope this is a return to her at her best. Because you hit the nail on the head, Taylor, where she has been chewed and spat out a number of times. She's taken some risks and gambles with companies, and the companies have kind of screwed her. Like Stadia being a big example of that. She was the big the big signing, number one draft pick for Stadia, and they did nothing. She is probably. It's interesting you mentioned like Hideo Kojima. She's probably one of the biggest names in gaming when it comes to game development studios. What she did at Ubisoft, she was at the forefront of that, but she was also the spokesperson for that.
Yeah.
You saw her every E3. She was everywhere, and they were in my formative years of gaming, like Assassin's Creed. I was in my teens. I saw her everywhere. So to me, she was always been a banner of a badge of quality and great games, because they're some of my favorite games that Vince has mentioned. And so I'm not expecting her to make those sort of games. I don't think with Haven. I think their first IP, I have no clue what it could be. You try and listen to what she's saying in the thing, still can't really get any glimpse of it. But I'm just excited for her to be given a platform. And Sony are pretty good at giving people time and the tools that they need for their first IPs. They have a history of that. So I think it's the right place for her. And to have her own studio, I think would be really good. And interesting that she says to bring people that I have worked with before who have been that's exciting, because there's a lot of the Ubisoft team that aren't there anymore at Ubisoft that were there at the beginning of Assassin's Creed. And if you're starting to work with them, that's exciting in itself. So yeah, I was very happy at this news.
Yeah, I think you hit it perfectly there, Adam. Because I think the reason why PlayStation are where they are, why they're so successful, the main thing that they do well is PlayStation Studios. They are where they are is because they know how to speak to developers. They really let that leash really far. They just okay, what do you want to do? We'll just leave you, whatever your vision is, get on with it. As we saw with Kojima, and then just let him make the most batshit crazy thing. Just go do it, whatever. And that just goes back way back, like you said, to history, to the very, very beginning of the development of the PlayStation. Like when Shuhei Yoshida was there overseeing the development of Wipeout, to Crash Bandicoot, to just all these things, and just kind of helping the developers get what they need. And yeah, I think that finally we're gonna let her just develop and bloom and see this project come together, what she wants to do. She's not going to answer to the big corporate company like Google, where they're just money. Whatever she was working on, it's just going to come down to the bottom line and then just cancel it. I mean, that's one thing that I know that Sony don't do. They very rarely cancel games. So yeah, I mean, this is great news. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't think we're going to see, like you said, anything soon, but watch this space. Is very exciting to see her being able to make something good again.
Maybe by the end of the year, you might get the same sort of thing as Indiana Jones style, those teasers, 10 seconds, maybe something, maybe pushing into next year, because that, if they've got the idea that's very easy to do. If it's just a very simple teaser, maybe a name of the project. But yeah, you won't see any details until potentially a teaser of some sort next year, and then it won't be released for another 4 years or something, I don't think. But yeah.
Moving on to more PlayStation news in news item 3. PlayStation VR 2 new controllers revealed. This is from IGN and it's from Jordan Ollerman. So Sony has provided a first look at the new controllers for a PlayStation VR 2, which will combine finger tracking with the PS5's haptic feedback and adaptive triggers to provide a much deeper sense of presence and stronger feeling of immersion in VR experiences. Revealed on the PlayStation blog, the new controllers ditched the old school PlayStation Move wand design for a more ergonomic set of peripherals that fit around the user's hands. The new controllers are orb-shaped and allow for a more natural fit without constraining the player's fingers. As for the new features available, the peripherals will adopt a lot of the best features from the PlayStation 5 DualSense, including adaptive triggers and haptic feedback to bolster immersion and add tension to inputs. Finger touch detection will also be implemented in a similar manner to Valve's knuckle controllers. Essentially, the controller will be able to detect your fingers without the need to press buttons. Sony says this will allow for more natural gestures during gameplay. The controller will also feature a tracking ring at their base and will be tracked by the PlayStation VR 2 headset instead of the PlayStation camera. Each side features an analog stick, a grip button, a trigger button, and two button inputs. The left controller also has a create button, whereas the right controller will feature the options button. Sony says that prototypes of these new controllers will be in the hands of development community soon, adding that there's still so much to share about the next generation of VR on PS5. PlayStation VR 2 was confirmed back in February of this year, where we learned that the new headset will connect to the PS5 via a single wire and feature a better resolution of field of view. Sony also said that it wouldn't launch this year. So yeah, this is we're getting lots of trickles of information about VR, which is always good news. And these look great, so much better. I know, you know, they were working with PSVR, working with the Move controller, which is like, you know, mid lifespan of the PlayStation 3. So that tech was starting to age a bit, and not to mention it wasn't even designed for that, but they seem to make it work well. This is great that we're getting haptic feedback. We're getting all the things that make the DualSense great. Yeah, this is exciting stuff. Adam, what's your thoughts on the design of them?
I think they look really cool. I think much better than those stupid ones. Anyway, I think that I like that it has the finger tracing, finger tracking. Sorry, I think that's going to be interesting in games. It looks quite intuitive, so yeah. The more they're saying about PSVR 2, the more I'm not going to get PSVR, and I'm just going to wait for PSVR 2.
Absolutely,
because they're saying all the right things to me. Like, it's worth the wait. I'll just wait because so far it looks really good.
Yeah, and as you said, the similar to Valve's knuckle controllers. I've not used the Valve. What's it called? I can't think of the word of it.
The Index.
Index, yeah. But they whenever I've seen it at expos, I feel like that's the pinnacle. Like that's like how the design should be, and this seems more in line with that. But yeah, I mean, can you see yourself getting one of these, Vince?
Maybe. I mean, I'm still extremely hesitant on VR, even though I desperately want to play Half-Life Alyx.
Oh,
like to the point of where I'm very interested in VR. But that being said, this is definitely a step in the right direction. Because with the PSVR, your only two options was the PS4 controller or the awkward Move controllers, which, as you said, is beyond old tech at this point. Like, it even still so hard to find those anymore. Like, you either had to get them when you got the VR as well, or go to a brick and mortar store and hope you can find some PS Move controllers pre-owned or something. But the design of these actually look very interesting. I mean, it's great that, again, we've seen Valve innovate technology once more with the knuckle controllers, because it looks like that might be standard going forward since PlayStation's adopting it as well. And if PlayStation's adopting your technology to some extent, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Because that's how we got Blu-ray discs. Sony popped those out, and now they're the standard for physical movie media anyway. it's interesting. Like, I mean, this could also pave the way for. Hopefully, we'll get Half-Life Alyx on PSVR. That'd be great. It's a dream for sure.
If they, I hope it happens, Vince. I hope it happens. The day they announce that, oh my God, I'll be ordering my PSVR 2 any way I can. Sure. Any way I can. That'll be a killer app. One thing I did just think, I hope that they get to release these if they're, kind of in production before the actual headset, because I'm sure there are a lot of Dreams players that are dying for these.
Because
that'd be great.
To create in Dreams, your best way is by using the Move controllers. And whereas using these, I can imagine sculpting with these, like in Dreams. Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
So good. Moving on to story number 4. Horizon Zero Dawn and 9 superb indie titles free on PlayStation in coming weeks. A lot of PlayStation news this week. This is over at Eurogamer, and the story is by Matt Wales. Sony's feeling generous again and is giving away another batch of free games, including Horizon Zero Dawn, Subnautica, and The Witness as part of its latest play-at-home event. Horizon Zero Dawn is, of course, the biggie, and developer Guerrilla Games' open world adventure, which sees Outcast and Hunter Aloy embarking on a journey across a sumptuous future version of Earth, will be free to add to your library from 19th April. More specifically, players can get their hands on Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, which includes sizable wintry expansion The Frozen Wilds, and interested parties have until 14th of May to claim their free copy. That's far from the end of it, however. Starting 25th of March, PlayStation owners will be able to add 9 additional games to their collection for free. It's a uniformly excellent selection. There's Abzu, the gorgeous underwater adventure from the Pathless studio Giant Squid, plus developer Dodge Roll's bullet hell dungeon crawler Enter the Gungeon. Res Infinite offers a spectacular remaster of legendary designers Tetsuya Mizuguchi's psychedelic rhythm action classic, while Subnautica provides yet more opportunity to dive to the watery depths, this time for some superb and surprisingly scary survival action. Next on the freebie list are Jonathan Blow's acclaimed island exploration puzzler, The Witness, nightmarish rhythm action oddity Thumper, and another world designer Eric Chahi's mesmerizing ecosystem sim Paper Beast. Res Infinite, Thumper, and Paper Beast include optional PlayStation VR support for those with a headset to hand. And Sony completes the collection of freebies on 25th of March with 2 titles specifically designed for VR: celebrated platformer Astrobot Rescue Mission and adorable mouse-themed action-adventure Moss. All the above, excluding Horizon Zero Dawn, are free to download until 22nd April. Guys, are you kidding me?
This is good.
What a lineup of games this is. I mean, if Horizon, if I hadn't already purchased it, which I did, like in the sale kind of towards the end of last year, that would have been amazing. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. These are all games that I specifically have been wanting to play. Like Absu, I've been wanting to get for ages. I've been wanting to get that in the sale. Res Infinite, I never played the original Res, and I've been wanting to play this one. Subnautica is another game that I really want to play, and I've just been waiting for it to kind of drop in the sale. The Witness, I already own, but I've been wanting to play that. Paper Beast, Thumper. If I had PSVR, I'd be all over Astrobot Rescue Mission and Moss, which is meant to be incredible. These are really, really good games that they've just kind of just dropped for free.
Vince?
Oh, you don't want to know my opinion.
We do.
It's probably
that's why you're on the show.
Oh, of course. Really sounds like they're trying to chase Xbox's tail, trying to compete with Game Pass a little bit by popping out these free games here every now and then. Because, I mean, when you look at that list, it's nothing new. Some things people probably already own. Like, Horizon. You got Abzu, I guess, Subnautica, The Witness. Which, I mean, really the standout there has to be Horizon. Which, if you have a PlayStation 4 and you don't have Horizon already, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Why haven't you played Horizon yet? Terry, notwithstanding, because,
Well, there you go. I didn't I knew I wanted to play it. I knew how much I love it, but I just hadn't got around to getting it. And this is the complete edition as well, which I have. Yeah. But yeah, including the Frozen Wilds. I don't know. I don't believe this is something to. I think this is a completely different thing. I don't think they're trying to compete with Game Pass. I don't think you can compete with Game Pass. No. It's a completely different entity. The difference is that these games are free. They're like, it's not like, they're part of a service that you have to pay for monthly. No, these are like, you download them, they're yours forever. Like that's it. They're yours. You own them. And dropping a game like Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah. Sorry, go on, Adam.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Like, I think it's very rare, Vince, but I think you're off the mark on this one, because this is part of Sony's Play at Home initiative, which is to help during COVID. That's why we had Ratchet and Clank, and they stopped it for a little while they were launching the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that, but they said they were bringing it back. And usually it's one game.
Yeah.
So for them to release all these, and they're not all AAA games, but they'd be stupid of them to do all AAA games. But put Horizon in there. A lot of people haven't played Horizon because there was a lot of backlog at the end of the PS4 with massive games, and Horizon got lost in the shuffle for a lot of people. And it's given people a chance. And it's clever for them to put Horizon in because we're gearing up for Horizon, the second Horizon game. So
same with Ratchet and Clank.
Same with Ratchet and Clank, because it gets people up to date with the story. More people are then going to buy that game. They're obviously not chasing Game Pass because Game Pass is too good to chase. It is its own thing. PlayStation's Game Pass is the PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus combined. You know, 2 subscriptions combined is their effort at doing Games Pass. And obviously, Games Pass is probably the best deal in gaming. And it's one of the best fan services in gaming, hands down. I don't think this is that. Sony aren't stupid enough to chase Xbox with that. I think this is just part of their Play at Home initiative, which they have been doing all the way through. And I think any company giving out free games with no caveat, apart from just download them before this day, should be applauded whatever the game is, because that is free. And if it's helping people stay at home and helping people through lockdown, whether we're getting to the end of lockdown or whatever, I think that's great. And I've played most of these games, but I'm going to play Horizon again, before Horizon comes out. And I already had it, but it's great.
Yeah, and this could have easily been a bunch of just fluff. Yeah. But this is this is all stuff that I'm going to play Abzu. I'm going to play Res Infinite. I'm going to play Subnautica. Obviously, I've got The Witness already, but I want to play that. I'm going to play Thumper because I played that EGX before and I love that. And I'm going to play Paper Beast. And if I had a VR, I would play Astrobot and Moss. But no, it's good. It's good stuff. I don't know how often they're going to do this, whether they even do this much again. But no, it's great. And obviously, personally, playing through Horizon right now. If you haven't got Horizon, download it right now and play it because it's absolutely epic. Moving on, story number 5. Riot Games says its investigation of CEO finds no evidence of alleged harassment. This is from Rock Paper Shotgun, and the news story is from Graham Smith. Riot Games say that the third-party investigation that initiated into CEO Nicolo Laurent has found no evidence of wrongdoing, and their own special committee recommends no action to be taken against him. The investigation was prompted by Riot Games after a lawsuit was brought against Lawrence and the company in January, which alleged that he had harassed an employee and that Riot Games had fired her when she complained. The lawsuit is ongoing. The investigation into Lawrence's conduct was performed by external law firm Seyfarth Shaw LLP, who presented their findings to a 3-person special committee at Riot Games. The special committee, as reported by the Washington Post, consisted of Riot Games board member Youngmi Moon and 2 male C-level executives from Riot Games owner Tencent. Riot Games today published a statement from the special committee which claims that they act independently of management and review investigation results with impartiality. These statements would be difficult to believe from any company, and paying a third-party law firm doesn't change that. We also have no way of knowing what the Seafarth Shore investigation involved. The legal complaint against Riot Games and Laurent was brought by former executive assistant Sharon O'Donnell, who was fired from her role at Riot Games in July 2020, as reported by Vice last month. The suit alleges that Laurent asked O'Donnell to come over to his house while his wife was away, asked her to travel with him outside of work, and told her to be more feminine and to watch her tone. O'Donnell's suit alleges that she complained about Laurent's behavior to Riot Games' HR department and that her termination related to those complaints. Riot Games addressed that in a statement to Vice last month, saying that the plaintiff, is it plaintiff or plaintiff? Plaintiff was dismissed from the company over 7 months ago based on multiple well-documented complaints from a variety of people. Any suggestion otherwise is simply false. Today's statement from Riot Special Committee says that after reviewing the results of the third-party investigation, they concluded that there was no evidence that Laurent harassed, discriminated, or retaliated against the plaintiff, and no action should be taken against Laurent. Riot also published a short letter alongside a statement from Laurent himself, both available at the same link. Over on the article, you can go check that out. Laurent, who had continued to operate in the role of CEO while under investigation, notes in his statement that the company is, quote, exploring legal options. Riot filed a request in Los Angeles County Superior Court the same day asking to speed up court proceedings and to move the case to arbitration. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on here, guys. Aside from the obvious difficulty of impartially investigating yourself, even if you hire an external company, Riot lack credibility in this subject due to previous allegations of sexism in the workplace, which were first detailed in a lengthy 2018 report by Kotaku. They remain embroiled in legal proceedings over the issues even now. In 2019, Riot Games staff walked out from their Los Angeles studio in protest of the company's use of forced arbitration in resolving sexual harassment claims. Earlier this week, Alienware cancelled a League of Legends sponsorship deal 10 months early, with anonymous sources telling Esports that Alienware had cited concerns with the company's public image. A lot of stuff here to break down, guys. I felt like I kind of had to put this on there because there's just so much of this going on in the industry. There's talk right now. Riot Games is not looking at the best of companies, and as you know, they're absolutely huge. I mean, what's your takeaway from the decision here from the lawsuit?
Who you want to go to,
Vince?
Oh boy,
oh boy.
It's a weird one, right? Like you say a third party company is doing your internal investigation, but then you have board members from your parent company part of that investigation. So obviously there's a bit of what should we say? Yeah, there's a bit of a what's that word?
Crossover?
I'm losing it. Sure. There's a bit of a weird overlap there.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you're going to assume that there's conclusion, that they might be hiding something if they don't want to, publicly say what their investigation was, what was involved in the investigation.
Yeah.
Especially since we've seen Riot Games specifically be kind of this center of, this bro culture, this major sexism, heavy in that. And, they say they're trying to do better. They say they're doing seminars and wanting to do better. But here we are again. We're at this trial. They found through their own investigative team, for lack of a better phrasing, that somehow there's no need to take action That's a bit weird. Just
it's a bit strange.
Kind of throwing that out there. It's a bit strange. And it's kind of hard to take their word for it after so much has been going on, specifically revolving around the topic.
No smoke without fire kind of thing.
Yeah. A bit suspicious. A bit sus, as the kids say these days.
Adam, you got anything to add to that, or are you pretty much...
No, yeah, the only thing I'll add to that, well, a few little bits. The wording is really important in this. The wording is really important, what they put out. They are saying that it's about retaliation, that he didn't retaliate or anything, and stuff like this, and that there was no reason to suspend. Does not say anywhere that her allegations were incorrect. Just that not all of them were correct. Like, and this is the issue. And Riot Games has a terrible reputation anyway, as we've covered. So there's still lawsuits pending regarding this and the previous accusations, and it's just a parent company covering for its like smaller company and a subsidiary, and it just makes me feel a little bit sick because we're supposed to be in an environment now where we're supposed to believe a victim first, and you're supposed to, and then these companies are supposed to go, okay, we'll take this seriously, we'll look into this, and if there's wrongdoing, we have your back. And this might be the case. We don't know, but there's such a track record of this, and nothing gets done. This is let's just say some of this is true, but not all of it is true, which probably is the most likely scenario from these findings, like whatever we can take from that. But still, some of it will be true. When are they going to set an example at Riot Games and not just say, oh, we're attending seminars and really changing our work culture? No, change your hierarchy, put more people of different backgrounds in place. So there's a fairer view of the company. That's the only way things like this change. Because you're right, Riot Games has a bro culture, and the hierarchy is sickening. And there needs to be more responsibility and more accountability to people in power in any company. But Riot Games need this more than anyone. They need full transparency on this. Otherwise, no one is going to believe them. Yeah, they've hidden stuff before. Yeah. So for me, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. Yet another thing from this company that doesn't deserve to be around at the moment because of their continuous mistakes. And I have a low tolerance for stuff like this anyway, but repeat offenders, nah. Just fuck off. He should be gone, and they should change the hierarchy, or they should be gone. That's my opinion anyway. That isn't the word of Shifty Crowd. That is me.
And guys, there's always Dota 2 you can play instead. So just saying. All right. News story number 6. Microsoft won't quit with Xbox Games Pass announcements, and Octopath Traveler is next. This is over at Eurogamer by Tom Phillips again. There was once a time when Xbox Game Pass announcements would come along every month or every couple of weeks at most. This week, however, is not one of those weeks. Confirming the raft of upcoming games headed to the service today, Microsoft has snuck in one more title worthy of mentions: Square Enix role-player Octopath Traveler. Previously available on PC and Nintendo Switch, it will jump onto Xbox Game Pass for PC and consoles on 25th of March. It's been an extraordinarily busy few days for Xbox Game Pass news, with some eye-opening additions announced. To recap, the promising Outriders will launch via Game Pass on day one after a positive response to its demo. Cult favorite Undertale hits Game Pass as it finally arrives on Xbox today, 16th of March, many years after its debut elsewhere. Last week, we heard that Brenda and John Romero's mobster-themed strategy game Empire of Sin would come to Game Pass for consoles and PC. There was also a small matter of 20 past Bethesda games being added, and the promise that new titles from the publisher will be exclusive to platforms where Game Pass exists. Undertale Cloud console and PC is available now, while Empire of Sin console and PC, Nier Automata Automata, yeah, PC. Star Wars Squadrons console. Torchlight 3 PC arrive on 18th of March. 25th of March brings Genesis Noir console and PC. Octopath Traveler console and PC. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire Ultimate Edition PC. Supraland PC. Yakuza 6 Song of Life cloud console and PC. Narita Boy cloud console and PC joins us on 30th of March with Outriders cloud and console a day later. 3 games are listed as leaving Xbox Game Pass soon. Hyperdot console and PC, Journey to the Savage Planet console, and Machinarium PC. Phew, that's what it says in the article. Phew, and I feel like saying fewer after reading that as well. Yeah, I mean, this like I wanted to. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about this as well because on our previous news break, we were pretty much just talking all Xbox, all Bethesda, but I know that content got lost due to a lot of headache with technical difficulties, as you mentioned on the podcast, Adam. But we broke down in detail the Bethesda conference and all the games that they added there. But yeah, they just keep adding more and more and more stuff. And like you said, Vince, and well, you both said it, best deal in gaming. Now we've got Octopath plus all those other games. They just keep adding. I mean, there's not much more excuses you can really give to not signing it, especially if you got an Xbox.
Plus, they've just added EA.
Yeah,
I think that they've just added EA games to there as well. I think
they were before Bethesda
today. Yeah,
amazing.
But I think the new batch of games has been announced.
Yeah,
today or yesterday, like what's coming and when it's coming and stuff like that. So it's it's this whole thing, isn't it? And I'm not on about PlayStation, Xbox. I'm on about just gaming in general, and Games Pass is that meme of someone on top of him going, he's already dead. He's already dead. As the guy's just pounding away. Like, let's not talk about consoles, which is the better console. The deal in gaming, nothing comes close to Games Pass.
I mean, deal in entertainment, right? Full stop. I mean,
probably. And the fact that they throw 3 months at you continuously. If you really wanted to, you could never pay for Games Pass if you just put the effort in. They're offering 3 months everywhere, all the time. Like, it's just an incredible deal in gaming. Like, you mentioned a list of games there, and maybe 2 of them I would play, 3 of them, but they're there, you know? And it's just, it's incredible. Say what you want about the consoles, who has the better exclusives or whatever. When it comes to deals, Xbox is way ahead of everybody else.
Vince, you agree there?
Oh,
no, you
absolutely.
Agree.
Absolutely. I've got a 5 terabyte hard drive and I'm about to push it to its limits. Come on now. Undertale. We got Octopath Traveler, which I really wanted to play, but I didn't want to pay $60 for to have it on Switch. But now it's on Game Pass for free. Come on now.
Yeah.
One of the best JRPGs out there. Absolutely. Plus, it's not even on PlayStation yet. I know Imran Khan noted on Twitter, this is the first Square Enix game to not have come out on PlayStation before it's come out on Xbox as well as Nintendo.
Really?
That's insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Because, I mean, before we had Kingdom Hearts, which was previously on PlayStation, Final Fantasy, which was previously on PlayStation, and now we have Octopath Traveler, which was just on Nintendo, and now it's on Xbox, not on PlayStation yet. Wild.
Absolutely crazy.
What a time.
Where are we at? Where are we at with X? So for me personally, I don't own an Xbox. I want to jump on Games Pass. I've got a PC that's not great. It's okay, but it's not like a gaming PC now. It was 10 years ago. But I have a fast internet connection. I want to be able to stream these games. Where are we at with xCloud? And how can I stream these on PC? I don't think that that's kind of put in front of me. Like the fact that we're in this circle, we're doing a games news show, and I still don't really know what's happening there. So the average consumer probably doesn't even know it exists. What's happening with that?
xCloud is pretty decent. I have, the Game Pass app on my phone. And I tried a few different things on there. A few different things that you can get, with the xCloud. Because I tried Gears on there. And there's a bit of lag. Not like a whole hell of a lot, like super, super noticeable.
You're going to expect that, yeah.
Yeah. but you kind of notice it. There's a little delay between your button inputs and what's coming through the X Cloud. But it works great. Like I was playing again Gears, and it still looked great. I mean, it wasn't trying to, you're not going to get wowed. You're not going to get absolutely floored with the graphics, whether it's on your phone or depending on how it's going to work. Because I know I have the Game Pass app on my PC right now. I've downloaded Among Us from it, and that's it. I kind of want to see what can run through that. Kind of want to test my PC out and put it through its paces. But as far as like streaming straight to your PC, I don't think there's anything yet, just because you have that separate app.
So when it says coming to PC, that means you get the app. You are downloading the game as you would do on Xbox, and you're playing it. You're running it through your graphics card.
Yeah,
pretty much all that kind of stuff. So if you're gonna be playing top AAA games, you're gonna need a good PC then to be playing these kind of stuff.
Yeah, to play that like that super levels or whatever they call it on PC. But you're downloading straight. You're basically downloading it like you would through Steam or the Epic Games Store. Or however.
Yeah. No, I mean it's all exciting stuff, and like you said, Adam, best deal in gaming. However, this is one thing I don't think people are talking about enough. Now, when Netflix came out, I mean, obviously we all know Netflix now as the powerful platform that it is, but when it first came out, I remember getting Netflix back in 2010, I think it was.
It was Love Film just before Netflix, wasn't it?
What was that? Yeah, it was Love. Yeah, exactly. And I remember just being amazed at the idea of it, like how, like, just, oh my God, like I'm streaming like this. It was so weird, like that you didn't have to download the film and you were just streaming it, and how I could have it on my phone and just continue like to watch it from the point I left off. That was so crazy back then. But it didn't have much content, but it didn't matter because it was so cheap. It was so cheap back then. I think it was like £5 a month or something like that. $4.99. So it didn't really matter. It was for the novelty of it, for the content that was there, and there was some good content. It didn't matter because it was so cheap. And I feel like Game Pass is in that position right now, although it's got the content to back it up, but it's so cheap. They're practically giving it away. Now, I think we all know what's going to happen. They've got Bethesda on board. They've got EA on board. What are you going to say, Adam?
No,
exactly. Exactly.
It's going to go up.
They're going to get you in, and then we're going to see this creep up to the point where, I don't know, 5 years down the line, this is going to be a different thing where, I think that the content's going to be there. It's going to be this juggernaut, this Netflix, where you're not really going to want to cancel because you don't want to miss whatever game's coming out with stuff like that. But it's not going to be peanuts. You know what I mean? It's going to be eventually, this is going to be going up to like £15 a month or whatever it is, like £20. Like, so
it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. So enjoy it now. Get on board. Get what you can out of it now, because I don't think, because you're not saying anymore. Although Netflix is still a deal, you can't not call it a deal for the amount of content we get. You're not saying, oh yeah, it's just it's so cheap. It's
an actual bill now. Like you have to bill. Think about it. It's not just a few pounds. But you're right, and obviously Xbox just tried this with Gold when they tried to double the price of it. That went well. Yeah, like they're trying to make that money back somewhere. And you're absolutely right, Taylor. What they're doing is, especially now, everything is releasing on Xbox Games Pass, so everyone's going to be playing these games, and then they're going to turn around in about a year and go, it's going up by £5. It's going $5. I think they will up by $10.
I think they're smart. They will do it gradually, like Netflix do, and you just kind of suck it up. You're not going to go, oh, I'm cancelling now because it's gone up by £1. Yeah, exactly. It's just the way that these companies do it, but it will happen. But the thing is, like I say,
it's got to happen, really.
It's got to happen. Obviously, you don't spend $7 billion on buying out a company on ZeniMax and stuff like that for nothing. So, but yeah, it will happen. But hey, by that point, it's going to even have a much more AAA content, and it may still be far and above the best deal in gaming.
Maybe Halo will be out by then.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
It will be.
On to our next story, number 7. Animal Crossing's next update increases design slots, adds new Bunny Day items, and more. This is over at GameSpot, by story by Kevin Nesvik. Animal Crossing New Horizons 1.9.0 update is now live. In addition to Sanrio-inspired villages and items, the update has introduced more new seasonal items to the Switch Life Sim, as well as additional design slots and other new features. As an extra bonus, everyone who downloads and installs the update will receive a special cake commemorating New Horizons' first anniversary in their mailbox. As Nintendo detailed on Twitter, the 1.90 update has added 50 more slots for both custom designs and pro designs, greatly increasing the number of patterns you can keep. Additionally, you'll be able to purchase a custom designs portal and custom design pro editor plus from the Nook Miles catalog. These will let you download and edit designs right from your Nook phone without having to travel to Able Sister Shop to access the terminal. Bunny Day, the first major event to occur after New Horizons launch last year, will return again on April 4th. As before, you'll be able to collect different kinds of eggs from around your island and craft them into special Bunny Day furniture. This time, however, Nook's Cranny will also be selling brand new Bunny Day items. They will be available exclusively in the shop with a different item on sale each day from March 28th to April 4th. Anyway, it goes into more detail there. This is all completely foreign to me because I've never played Animal Crossing.
I was going to say, by the way you were saying it, I was like,
exactly. It means
absolutely a clue what he's talking about.
It means absolutely nothing to me, and I don't believe. And you've got Switches, but I don't believe you ever played Animal Crossing.
No, I've played Animal Crossing.
Oh, you have? Okay, Adam, does this mean much to you?
It means something to me, but I could not give a shit.
Okay.
Animal Crossing at New Horizon came out at the beginning of lockdown, and my friends were playing it, and they said,
"Yeah,
listen, get Animal Crossing, kill some time." And I'd never played an Animal Crossing game before. Let me tell you, Terry, all you do is you get into debt, and then you have to collect stuff to pay off the debt to get into a bigger debt.
I know.
I was at the same time as me trying to get a mortgage on my property. I was like managing the money in Animal Crossing and in real life. I was like, no, I'm out. I'm out. And I tapped out after maybe a month. But yeah.
I played the one on the mobile game. I can't something Leaf. I can't remember the name of it.
New Leaf or something.
New Leaf. That, yeah, I played that one. That
wasn't the mobile game.
No, what was the mobile one?
It was Camp something.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Can't remember what it was, but when that came out, I got that very much a stripped down version of it, and I did play it for a good Pocket Camp. Yes. I got addicted to it for a few weeks, but it did get to that point where it just became a chore because I was just constantly just picking up, just like, I've got to do this, I've got to get that. And but no, the reason I wanted to talk about this because I do really feel like lockdown, COVID, it's become obviously such a big part of all our lives, and I feel that in years to come, when we look back, the game that we will associate with so many people of getting us through that time is Animal Crossing, because it is synonymous with the beginning of lockdown. It came out just at that right time. So many people played it. Obviously, it wasn't quite for us. I mean, I didn't have a Switch anyway, but so many people loved it. And it's crazy to think that it was a year ago that it came out. And, a year ago, they had this what was it called? The Bunny Day, and now we're back there again, and we're still in
a form. Care about this,
we're still in a form of lockdown, and this got so many people through, and still does. Like this, I guess it's like for people that don't necessarily have it in their lives, implemented in their lives, it gives a sense of not purpose, but like routine, daily routine. It's their things. It just kind of gets them through, something to look forward to. And I can totally get that. Having kids, I've already got too many things to look after. Don't need to look after my my camp and that in Animal Crossing. But Vince, did you play much of this one? Did you say or?
Oh boy! So let me tell you a story. Let me
sit down.
Let me walk you down the path of the day before lockdown. I was working at GameStop. It was fantastic. It wasn't. It was all right. But
that's right. They're not listening.
We got permission to sell Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing a day early, basically the night early, and me being absolutely excited because I had Doom Eternal pre-ordered. And also having a wife because, it's life, You find someone you love, you get married to that person. It's fantastic. So that night, my wife was off work. I was working the late shift. We got permission to sell the games. I asked her to grab a few games, run up to GameStop, and we both bought Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom Eternal.
What a combo.
So,
yeah. Two very different games.
Very different games, but they were both purchased at the exact same time. So obviously, I got Doom Eternal. She got super absorbed in Animal Crossing. And let me tell you, when she became obsessed with Bunny Day, it was a nightmare. She ended up having made every single Bunny Day item. It was both amazing to watch because, again, my wife doesn't play a whole lot of games, and terrifying at the same time. Because in order to make these Bunny Day items, you have to get the specific type of egg. There's like rock eggs, water eggs, tree eggs, I guess. I don't remember what they were called. And they all spawn differently. Like, you go fishing, you might get a fish, you might get a water egg. About 8 times out of 10, it was a water egg instead of a fish. So I'd just be sitting on the couch. She'd be sitting on the couch playing the Switch. I'd be playing whatever. And it would just be like, God damn it, another egg. Like, she had literal stacks of these things because they kept spawning more than actual items spawn.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, it was fun. And I'm so glad we get to sit through it again with another fucking Bunny Day event.
Is she still playing?
No, she's fell off of it, but I've got to assume with its 1 year anniversary, she might want to jump back into it. She's been meaning to go back to it with all the other previous updates they've done, but hadn't got around to it.
They do a lot of updates, Whisker.
They do so many updates every holiday. Doesn't matter how big or small.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. I've heard so many people that are playing this game that don't generally play games, and it's just grabbed them. It's just managed to grab those casual gamers. I haven't seen anything like this on this scale as much as since maybe Pokemon Go. But even with Pokemon Go, that was very much for many people, it's just like a quick flash in the pan, and that was it. People were off of it. Whereas Animal Crossing seems to have captured people, and it's not even a mobile game. You know what I mean? It's a Switch game. It seems to have captured a load of people that never really played games much before, and they still consistently play it. Crazy stuff. Crazy. But anyway, on to item number 8. Rockstar thanks GTA Online player who fixed poor load times. Official update coming. This is over at PC Gamer, and the story is by Andy Chalk. Rockstar Games has confirmed to PC Gamer that a fan-made solution to GTA Online's abysmal loading times will become official in a forthcoming update. The update has now come. At the beginning of March, GitHub user Toaster, I don't know, who also goes by Toast. Okay, Toast claimed that they'd discovered a way to reduce GTA Online's loading times by up to 70%. Further, they also released a fix that you can pick up here in the link on the article, with a caveat that it's an unsupported proof of concept, not for casual use. For those interested in the technical angles of such things, Tosterek also wrote up a detailed analysis of what was wrong and how they had fixed it. It's fairly technical, but the short version is that the slowdown was being caused by a single thread CPU bottleneck while starting up GTA Online. A problem they estimated shouldn't take more than a day or for a single dev to solve. It actually took a somewhat longer than that, but Rockstar has confirmed that Tosterek's I don't know how to pronounce it, findings were accurate. Was it?
It's on Toast. Everyone else
just Toast. Findings were accurate, and that a fix is on the way. After a thorough investigation, we can confirm that player Toast did in fact reveal an aspect of the game code related to load times for the PC version of GTA Online that could be improved. The company said in a statement, quote, "As a result of these investigations, we have made some changes that will be implemented in a forthcoming title update." Toast said that they were awarded $10,000 through Rockstar's bug bounty program. That's normally reserved for discovering security or privacy issues in Rockstar's online games, but the studio decided to award the bounty as an exception. In this case, Toast said, Rockstar confirmed to PC Gamer that the payment is being made. What a cool story.
Yeah, this
what
is
a cool
feel-good
story,
isn't it?
It's
what a cool, appropriate story.
It's so cool. I mean, give like bloody hire the guy. I mean, yeah, cool, 10 grand. But like, yeah, this is I don't know. It just reminds me of like stuff that you'd see, the stories you'd get out of like Little Big Planet or something like that, or even Dreams, where like this like community member just like create something that even the devs couldn't do, and they're like, oh guy, like normally Media Molecule ended up hiring him or something like that. But yeah, it's crazy. Like this one guy managed to reduce it by 70%.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It talks about there like the bottleneck. There was there's files that were being loaded into online that were basically multiples of the same file, and the coding was obsolete. It was old code that didn't need to be that way anymore, and it was slowing everything down because instead of loading what it needed to, it was having to load these files again and again and again and again and again. So he sorted all out, and which is cool in itself. And it's cool. It would be cool that Rockstar acknowledged it, but they're giving him 10 grand.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
fair play to them. They've gone, yeah. Do you know what? You've made this better. Here's 10 grand.
Yeah,
like.
Right.
Credit to him, man. Like, there's no bad part of this story. It's just,
no, it's good.
That guy's very clever. He's now 10 grand richer. Rockstar did the right thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame it was there in the first place because Rockstar are such okay developers that, someone else had to do their job for them. But you'll understand that reference on Monday.
I think Vince is prepping something here for a little upcoming show. We'll have to wait and see what that's about.
You'll get that reference later.
Laying that primer on. Okay. Yeah, just a fun little story. Anyway, moving on to number 9. Star Citizen reaches $350 million in crowdfunding after record to 2020. This is over at gamesindustry.biz, and the story is by Matthew Handaran. Star Citizen has now earned more than $350 million, according to the latest data from Cloud Imperium Games. The long in development title reached the new milestone in February when it brought in around $5 million. In November 2020, it had one of its biggest ever months with $16.9 million in revenue. That was due to its annual International Aerospace Expo, which opens up the game in its full roster of 100 ships to new players. Star Citizen saw a similar boost in November 2019 when a $9 million haul pushed the game past $250 million. It reached $300 million in June 2020. Cloud Imperium describes a significant portion of its income as crowdfunding, despite it mainly coming from the sale of starter packs and in-game items, common among live service games, which generally do not classify such revenue as crowdfunding. However, despite having been in production for 10 years, Star Citizen has yet to receive a full commercial release. The single-player spin-off, Squadron 42, which has been sold separately since 2016, does not yet have a release date. Nevertheless, it continues to generate money at an impressive rate. According to Polygon's calculations, Cloud Imperium brought in $77 million in crowdfunding in 2020 alone, its most successful year to date. I just can't. The whole story behind Star Citizen is just absolutely baffling to me. I think we were talking about Elite Dangerous, and I was explaining Elite Dangerous and how these games were both announced around the same time. Both similar developers, both had their original games back in the 80s, kind of flight simulator space games, and we're both bringing them back and crowdfunding them. In that same time, Elite Dangerous has been out. It's been out for many years. It's had expansions. It keeps adding content. Where Star Citizen is still in pre-alpha, and people just keep. It's obviously a record. No other game has had so much money chucked at it, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just because I'm not within that community. They might argue differently, but I just have to keep asking for what. What are we actually getting out of this? Like when this was first shown 10 years ago, it looked light years ahead of anything that was out right now, because it was just like, how is it even possible? But I don't know, like, is this game ever going to come out? When it comes out, is it going to actually look anything special? It's just, it baffles me. Like, they haven't even, they've made this Squadron 42 game, which is basically just like a smaller single player aspect of it. But even that is even not in a state where it's even a game. And they keep selling these ship packs and people keep buying them. And I don't know, it's crazy. Wow. I didn't know if you guys were in the loop of Star Citizen as much of what you thought. I just wanted to get your opinion on it as a project.
I've read a little bit about it, and I've watched a few videos about it. Basically, to me, as an outsider from this, it looks like a pyramid scheme. It just looks like it looks like a pyramid scheme. It's like, if you keep putting the money in, trust me, you'll see what this is going to be. It's going to be amazing. Oh, don't look behind this door. It's incredible. We'll let you see eventually. It's just not quite ready yet. Not quite ready yet. And they're going to do this, and hopefully until the people forget, or until the company will go bust miraculously, but this money will have gone somewhere else. Like, oh God, what an absolute farce.
It's insane. Like, I forgot this game was a thing because
everyone did.
Yeah. I think the first I heard of it was when I still watched Rooster Teeth content, because Gus Sorolla was all about this game to the point where he mentioned on one of their podcasts that he bought a $300 ship that he couldn't use because the game wasn't even out yet. And it's still wild to me that this game is still in development this far on. Like you said, it's been, 10 years? Since they first launched
pre-alpha.
Kickstarter? Yeah, it's pre-alpha. That doesn't make sense to me.
Like, how is this game real? The tech. They're going to be chasing the tech now continuously. Whatever they're developing must be obsolete. So now they'll have to start again. And start again.
I remember when it was first in development, they were like, it's Chris Roberts, as it's just come to be. Chris Roberts, the lead developer. And for me, I don't know. Like, I don't want to just like throw assumptions out there, but for me, it seems like the guy that's like been given unlimited funds and he just doesn't know what to do with it. I remember when he announced that he'd hired the guy that designed the HUD in Iron Man in the films. He wanted him to design the UI and the HUD in the games, and he probably just paid just millions and millions. Like, it just felt just chucking money, and they just kept running out, and then they just like, oh shit, and then they kept getting more investments and selling ships and things like that. And I completely get where the excitement came from people wanting to play the games, people that loved Wing Commander back in the day, which he developed, like, and they wanted that back, and they wanted the state of the art, people that are deep into simulation games. And I get where the excitement is, but now 10 years down the line, surely you have to ask yourself, okay, is this ever actually going to become what was promised? Because I just don't see how. And I don't know. I don't know where the money keeps coming from and why people keep chucking money at this.
Well, let's be honest. If Cyberpunk 2077 would have done something similar, that game probably would have been a lot better. Because so many people were hyped for that game that if they probably could have funneled money into it any other way than just pre-ordering it, they probably would have absolutely done that. And I see this might be going the same way, but with probably a similar result. And people are going to be way more furious if that's the case. Because, like you said, they've made millions off this game that's not even a game yet. And if it ever does finally come out, there is no way it's living up to people's expectations.
No, that's the
thing. Absolutely not.
It may one day... Sorry, go on.
No, go on, Terry.
I was going to say, it may one day become a complete game. I can't even see how that would happen. But when it does, it's not going to live up to the expectations that it set. No. It's going to be... I don't know. I'm feeling like it's going to be like a Killzone 2 kind of thing. As good as Killzone 2 was. Do you remember that initial trailer?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like they were always trying to chase that and live up to it. And obviously it never did. But I feel like this is going to be that. They're just going to be constantly to the point where they're going to have to release something that resembles what they first show. But by that point, like everything's going to have moved on so far that it'd be the PlayStation 6 that's out or whatever, like it's just going to be, I don't know. I know, so strange. Go on, Adam.
It just, the feeling this gives me is when you talk to people that maybe have like a gambling addiction or something like that, and then you hear their stories, and it's like, I've lost money, so I was chasing the loss. You get to the point that instead of betting for fun and just trying to make a little bit of money, like, you know, you're chasing the money you've lost, and that's the most dangerous thing you can do in gambling. And this seems to be that now, where people are putting money into this, and people are still buying stuff for this because, like, we need to get this game made, so I haven't lost £100, £200, $300, whatever. I'm like, if I put more money in, maybe it'll get made. And I think some people will have pulled out now and gone, no, okay, I've put my money in, I've just down to a loss. But some people will genuinely be putting money into this because they don't want to think that they've got nothing to show for it. And that company is just going to keep taking the money and not putting anything out.
But yeah, if you like space sims and you want to put money into something, go support a great developer. Go play Elite Dangerous. Good game. Story number 10. PlayStation communities on PS4 shutting down in April. This is over at IGN by Rebecca Valentine. Sony is preparing to shut down its PlayStation communities feature on PlayStation 4 next month in seemingly one of the first moves by the company to gradually drop support for its older console. In a note on the PlayStation support page, Sony says the PlayStation communities will no longer be supported beginning April 2021, though messaging and other features will still be available through the PlayStation app. PlayStation Communities is a feature that lets PlayStation 4 users create or join groups based on interests. The groups are able to play games together or discuss their interests via message boards on the system. The feature was launched in 2015 and had already had its winding down signaled last year, with the ability to create private communities removed, though public communities were still open. With the launch of PlayStation 5 last year, it makes sense that eventually Sony will slowly begin to withdraw support for different PlayStation 4 features. Though given how many PlayStation 4 units are out there, it's likely that the process of the PlayStation 4's wind down will be a slow one. For comparison, the largely unsuccessful Wii U only just lost its Netflix support earlier this year, despite the Switch celebrating its 4-year anniversary a few weeks ago. So I don't expect to lose the console's more meaningful features anytime soon. All that said, this may be more of a move to get rid of communities entirely, as there is no equivalent feature available on the PS5 at this time. And yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with winding down the PS4 or any other apps. I think this is purely because communities was pretty much useless and redundant. I don't think anyone used it. I
never used it.
I created me and a few friends created a community when it first went on. I think when I first got my PS4, and yeah, never used it. I don't know anyone.
No, you just used parties. You just used party chat. Like, and just everyone linked up that way. You didn't need to do communities. And I don't play with strangers. I'm not going to sit down and want to play
an example you would use would be like, oh no, like if we had a community around us, like a Shifty Crab community, you create these are the Shifty Crab community, so everyone can all be there. You can see everyone's PSN, and you know you have a message board. But to be honest, it didn't really have any use. It didn't have much like functionality. And
people just use Discord. That's really what they use.
Exactly. And I think
there's a lot better third parties.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't think. I'm sure Discord was around at the time, but I don't think it was so mass used by console players and things like that. So, I mean, it was inevitable really for this to happen. I don't think there's any reason to replace it with anything on the PS5 going forward. So there you go. Goodbye at PlayStation communities. And lastly, story number 11. Super Nintendo World holds official opening ceremony. This is over at Eurogamer by Tom Phillips. Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan has finally opened its warp pipe to visitors and marked the occasion with a small opening ceremony. Nintendo legend Shigeru Miyamoto and Universal Studios Japan boss Jean-Louis Bonnier struck socially distant Mario poses surrounded by costumed Mushroom Kingdom characters as members of the public entered the park. Universal Nintendo theme park in Osaka has been hit by multiple delays over the past year due to the pandemic's impact. Originally, it was due to open alongside last summer's now postponed 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. Earlier this month, Universal confirmed today's Earlier this month, Universal confirmed today's official opening date alongside a list of new health and safety measures, such as limited attendance numbers and the need to wear a face covering. With the park open, attention now turns to the other Super Nintendo worlds in development, with locations in Singapore, Orlando, and California already confirmed. Heading to Florida in the next few years, Super Nintendo World Orlando is now reportedly aiming for a 2025 opening. Vince, how long will it take for you to drive to Orlando?
The drive to Orlando? 12 hours.
Okay.
We've done it before.
2025. We book our tickets, Adam.
Yeah.
We either fly to Vince, spend some time in the good old North Carolina. Then we could just do a road trip.
Drive 12 hours, yeah.
America road trip. And we hit up Nintendo. Now this is great. I've been watching. I watched so much of this on YouTube. Watch the park.
It looks so much fun.
It looks so good. It's so and fine. It's I'm so glad it's finally opening, and I just can't see. I can't wait to see what else they do with it and expand on it. What other franchises are we going to get, guys?
We talked about this on the news that sadly didn't make it out.
Yes.
We had a full conversation about this, and you said obviously Zelda and stuff like this would be really good to be there.
I want to see some Hyrule World and things like that. Just think of what they could do with it.
Splatoon would be good there.
Splatoon, yeah, we said that, like a paintballing kind of thing, and
paintball center, paintballs at each other.
Yeah, it's not just Mario. It's the thing. This is Super Nintendo World. We can just kind of tap into any franchise. Donkey Kong. Yeah. So much potential.
They did a roller coaster to do with the old Donkey Kong,
like
something like that.
Oh, like the cart,
like the girders.
It goes like that. It's way down, maybe, or as you're going on it, barrels come a little bit. I'm gonna get on a Planet Coaster and start making this
Star Fox roller coaster.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
Like their version of what's the one in Disneyland? Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
Like that, their version of Space Mountain. So much potential. Oh, this is so good. But yeah, one day we'll do the Shifty Crab Nintendo World trip. But until then,
fantastic.
Till then, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
But that wraps up this week's Shifty Crab news break, and it sure has been a meaty one. So I have been your host, Terry Jeffs, and thank you for joining me, Adam and Vince.
Thank you.
You can catch this every Friday over at youtube.com/shiftycrab, and also you'll be able to catch all of these news breaks going forward on any audio podcast service, so check it out there. But until then, we'll see you next time, and stay shifty.